Drills Talk, episode 103. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 3 reasons you are not the big homie. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled Show Off versus Motivator. Most people are show offs. You're not motivating anything. You may feel good about yourself because you made a success or semi-success, or you're totally faking, whatever it is. But it makes you feel good to show that you have this thing or you are, quote unquote, on this status. But I'm going to let you know why being a show off has no benefit to anybody, including yourself. And I'm going to make you a big homie if you're not one by the end of this video. Let's go.
Yo, Drills.
Created by the great wizard of the new world.
Drills Talk, episode 103. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 3 reasons you are not the big homie. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here we're an entrepreneurship-based channel. Every Monday, we have a new blog. Every Wednesday, a new Drills Talk. And every Friday, I release an instrumental to get your weekend started right. Let's get started. Number 1. Number 1 is you're a show-off. So what's a show-off? A show-off is a person who is telling you they got all these things, or they're showing you they have all these things. And that's pretty much it. That's the thing. That's what they did. And somehow they think that people look up to them or should look up to them. For what? For being a show-off? Now I'm going to pick a little bit on entertainers because they're you see them most. And what they think is motivation is showing off. And I'll get into why it is a little later. But they think that having a bunch of jewelry, showing, a very big house, showing multiple cars, somehow makes them the big homie. It somehow makes them better than. It demands respect. It demands that people look up to them as the answer or the goal to get to. And it's not true. It's not true. It makes them think that they're there, but they're not there. And it may trick some people who are younger in age, maybe, ages 12 to 22-ish, where a person who is showing off is misconstrued as motivation. But it's not. And the fact that you're a show off is showing that you have no self-esteem. There's no need to show if you have. It really isn't. If you're not starving, people who are not starving and they have full bellies, are they walking around with sandwiches in their hands? Are they walking around showing you how big their oven is and taking that? No, because there's no need to do that. If you have money, there's no need to hold money. There's no need to carry around loads of money. Why? What year is this, right? There's no reason to do those things. Now, if you want a nice car, drive your nice car. If you want to live in a big house, live in a big house. But the minute it turns to, oh, I drive this nice car, let me show you, and I live in this big house, let me take pictures in front of it, it's like, so, okay, but what is your goal here? Is your goal to say this person has this, so I should look up to them and they should get this respect because they have it? What's the goal? There isn't one. So you're labeled a show-off, which is useless to yourself and to them. Who's getting what? Number 2. Number 2 is your possessions make you a somebody. We touched on this in number 1, but the fact that your possessions are making you feel as if you're someone else should be a red flag. Your possessions are making you feel great because maybe you grew up without them, right? Maybe you were told you wouldn't amount to anything. And your way of getting back to that 1 or 2 people that told you this is to show everybody that you have these things. And because you have these things, you are not only better than the people who told you that you couldn't get it, but you're better than the people you grew up with that don't have it. And that makes you feel better. It's great that you have these things, but to feel that you're the big homie and everybody should look up to you because you have these things and you didn't before and they still don't, that you're going about it the wrong way. You're not providing anything to the people who grew up just like you, who maybe didn't have that 1, 2 pieces of information that you had to get where you are, and you're doing nothing to make sure that they can get it now. So how are you the big homie? Maybe we need to define big homie. Maybe it's too slangy. I don't know. But the big homie is the person that is looked to for motivation, the person that is looked to for mentorship, the person that is going to point people in the right direction, the person who has come from less and has gotten more and is going to show people how to get there also. That's the big homie. See, the big homie in the hood is different than the real big homie. See, the big homie in the hood is still amongst everybody and maybe out of fear or because they're the oldest or because they do have the most money, even though it may not be a lot of money, they're considered the big homie. But when the real big homie comes back home, you'll see all the focus shift. And they'll understand that the stand-in big homie, that there never were the big homie. Because you haven't given anything to the community. You haven't given anything, any point of pointing to you and saying that's where I need to be, because you're still where they are. So you can't be the big homie. Your possessions may make you think you are. You're in the same realm. You have new sneakers, or you have an expensive pair of pants, or you have an expensive jacket. But you're in the same place that everyone is striving to get out of, and you have no information to help them get out because you're still there yourself. Number three is your motivation comes with no instruction. That's the difference between a big homie, a motivator, and a quote unquote big homie who's a show off. Show off has no instruction. A show off is going to show you all the jewelry, all the glitz, all the glamour, and they don't have any idea of how to convey the message of, hey, you can get this too, and this is how you get it. Because most of the time, if we're looking at entertainers, they don't know how they got it. They don't know. The money that they have in their spending is money that they have either yet to make or have been giving to them by the contracts that they signed because of their popularity or their ability for the people who gave them those contracts to make more money. So yeah, they can't tell you how to get these diamonds. They can't tell you how to get these houses and how to get these cars because they don't know how they got it. They have it. And the only thing they have to do is to show it off without instruction because they have no instruction. Big homies have instruction. Big homies can tell you how they got it, how they're going to keep it, how they're going to get more of it. So if you strive to be a big homie, understand that your motivation has to come with instruction or you're just showing off, and that is completely useless. Drills Talk, episode 103. So the top 3 reasons you are not the big homie, and hopefully that is no longer the case. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this out. It's Drills.